This is the Sports Lounge. Welcome to the home of the Sports Lounge.
Welcome to our YouTube channel.
Welcome to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. So click on the subscribe button
And let's stay updated with all the happenings, all the interesting conversations in the world of sports. Top of the afternoon to you. You're welcome to yet another episode on the Sports Lounge. And I mean, in the spirit of Easter, this episode has some sort of resurrection to it, because there are a lot of people that are resurrecting into the show that we've not seen in a very long time. I myself have been away for the past 2 weeks, and I big ups to Treasure for holding it down. But right here, I'm here with one of the people that's resurrected from the tomb in Galilee. TV, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. It's so good to be here.
Bruh, it's been a long time. What's good, man?
Man, we're just moving, man. Watching us now, hating, and I mean, life continues.
Was I not successful to watch though?
Yeah. It pained me. I couldn't even watch the second leg, but I mean, we'll go again.
Give us a little. Where have you been? What have you been doing, this guy? What countries have you? I know you thought you tried the Guinness record for 16 countries in 2 days. 2 days. How did that go, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I lost, but you understand? Because mine was 3 days. But yeah, we're looking for this money now. This show has to go on.
You understand?
It must. And, the sports lounge to the world.
Welcome, man. On my right is, this is probably a man who continues to, impress with his analysis, and Ifedotun, top analyst. How you doing, man?
I'm good. First, Happy New Year to me. I think I'll see you this year. But yeah, it's always good to be back here, let's talk about sports and all of that. This week has been very interesting. A lot of things have happened this week, so it's always good to be able to break down and dissect and, have a good time on the show.
Well, there's one more person coming, and this person was actually with Jesus in the tomb, and they both came out together. You see him later in the show. But yeah, guys, what couldn't have happened, because I'm very sure none of us here predicted that Arsenal was going to beat Real Madrid. In fact, you said Real Madrid is going to win the Champions League. We've not had your analysis about this, but guys, what happened? I'm worried as a general football fan, because one thing that brings us together as football fans is the fact that Arsenal has not won the Champions League. But now it's looking very, very likely that they will. If I don't let me start with you, I was really, really, really unimpressed with Vinicius Jr. in that game. I know I shouldn't single him out because it was more of like a team effort, but some people said it was how good Timber was. But for me, I think Vinicius, his attacking actions were very poor, and generally the whole Madrid team did not click at all. What happened?
So it's back to what we used to hear when we were kids, yeah? And they say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Everybody has been picking up different things with respect to how Ancelotti plays his team, right? Whatever system or structure they have looks to stop in the middle third, and from there it's freedom for the front three. People think it's a how do I put it now? People think it's a sign that he's a very good coach, giving players freedom to express themselves and all of that. But, nowadays, whenever a team doesn't do something right, it's always the manager that gets his head is on the chopping stick. So we just, what we saw was somebody that planned very well. If Ateta does not know anything in this life, Ateta knows how to plan for big games.
That's the process.
That one is a non-brainer. 2 weeks ago, before the first leg, we were talking on set, and myself and Toby made one very funny. We drew a parallel with throwbacks in 2006 when Arsenal knocked out Madrid. Arsenal's back four in that game was Eboué, Touré, Senderos, and Flamini. So we just made jokes and said something about if Arsenal could do it then, why can't they do it now? Only for it to even be worse this time around. I think that one was 1-0 and 0-0. This one was 3-0 and so. But then again, it just shows you that all facets of the game are very important. In the first leg, I think it was level up until 0-0, up until the first free kick, and importance of set pieces 1, 2. Before the first goal, I don't think you could have separated either of sides, but 2 good set pieces, just 2 goals in front. Madrid have to react, and they did not plan for that when they were COVID. And from there, everything just went downhill. I thought in the second leg, they should have been a lot more proactive. But going into the game, we had all sort of, I'm going to cover a roof.
See you on Wednesday.
I'll see you on Wednesday.
Mayana, 9 p.m.
We've done it before. We'll do it again. everything apart from what they were actually going to do on the field. So it was more of, I mean, if you're going to make a comeback of that measure, you have to believe first. They believed, but you're supposed to. Again, back to, when you were missing, it was the pastor that was sitting here, and our pastor will say, faith without works is dead. Exactly. So they just put up a lot of belief, and so with respect to Vinicius, Mbappe, and Koda, you called, I think, again, I don't think they had a clear attacking plan. Arsenal, on the other hand, had a very clear defensive plan. We spoke about how Gabriel was going to be missing because of how tight knit their defense is. They could cope with Kivio, who was very, very good in both legs, by the way. So it's a different thing if maybe Arsenal were chasing the game, Kivio has to come up to the halfway line. Maybe they can expose him a bit more, but because of game states, closed. And big ups to 3 people, especially from Arsenal. I thought those 3 were the most important people over 2 legs. Yeah, I'm going to surprise you. I'm not calling Timber. But I think
I don't expect.
I thought you said Timber was
No. I
so
don't expect you, sir.
first things first was Mikel Moreno. So what Moreno did for Arsenal was, obviously, that Madrid they have a lot of attacking quality. Basically, how they were set up out of possession was the back 4, Partey and Rice, Odegaard and Merino, and their 2 wingers. So it's more of whatever you want to do. Once you get it to your midfield, where are you? So it was, and that guy has legs for days. He was able to run up until the last minute of the second leg. He kept on going and going. That's first person. I don't need to talk much about Declan Rice. Over 2 legs, man of the match in both legs. Super player. Third person is Thomas Partey. When he goes, because I feel like he's leaving at the end of the season, Arsenal are going to have a very, very big issue replacing him because of the manner of control and physicality. So a lot of players that have that control measure in their game, they're not that physical. You can bump them off the ball. Do you understand? But if you go long, area balls, Thomas Partey is there. If you go one-on-one on the ground, is there. If you have the ball and you have to dictate play, it's there as well. So it's going to be a very big problem for them to replace it. But I think if I was an Arsenal fan, I would just be. It's hard to keep it in check, but there is a possibility that something big is coming.
Joy is coming. I'm glad you didn't talk much about Rice, because I want you to. And I mean, you don't get too many chances as a 100 million defensive midfielder to show that you actually are that value. Did he do that over the 2 legs?
He has paid them 200 million. I promise you, because I'm talking from a place of grief. He has paid them that money back, because Rice as a player was someone I didn't used to rate him so highly like this. Do you understand? I didn't even think he was a set piece kind of guy. He doesn't give that vibe. He just gives the energy guy around running. But
sorry, just to stop here. Do you think he can do it again ever in his life? Not 2 free kicks. So that second one. Do you think he ever scored that type of free kick?
Never.
So it was just him summoning that.
I think there was
that performance that night.
I think there were signs.
But I think
from the set piece deliveries, from the corners, I think there were signs.
I think that was the first one they scored, right? That was
no.
Those were the first 2. Right?
Yeah, first 2 free kicks. But the signs were from the corner kicks. Him and Saka have been whipping in madness.
And this is
last season.
This has been their set piece season. So they just had to use it. He has been very instrumental for them. He has been a machine. Energy. So that 100 is like this one has cancelled. No matter what he does wrong, you can't call him a flop. Do you understand? You can't.
It's always be referred to this game.
What about what he did against Madrid? Because this is the stage where you're supposed to show things like that. Do you understand? Because even Chelsea fans will say, no matter how you call Torres a flop, that goal against Barca in second leg, we are okay with that. The corner kick he won against Bayern in the final. We are okay. Do you understand? Those moments, those are things that count. And Rice, looking at him, he knows how to take control of those moments. He scores in the big games. It's not even, apart from these free kicks and everything, he scored against Chelsea. I've seen him he scored against United, right? Yeah, so I've seen him score some proper goals. And like Ifeanyi said, the set pieces, they have always been signs that he's that kind of guy that can whip these things. And I mean, when the light was bright, when the roof was open,
even when the roof was closed,
lights was cooking. So yeah, it was so good. I respect him.
Great talk. Just to wrap up the Arsenal Madrid game, how much of this was Ancelotti's fault? I know you said if you fail to plan to, or if you plan to fail, you fail to plan. Anyone?
All of it. All of it. So Ancelotti is not what we refer to as a coach. He's more of a manager.
Yes.
If you have those type of egos, those type of players in the dressing room, you have to get somebody that can be in charge of the dressing room. I think if you train a young coach into that dressing room, you might have battles of egos here and there and all of that, right? If you have let me see. let's look for a young manager. Maybe someone like back then when Villalobos got to Chelsea, you have to manage Drogba. You have to, and it's one of the things that, in my opinion, Zidane enjoyed the most in Real Madrid. He immediately stepped into the dressing room, respect of everybody across board, regardless of if he says everybody blindfold yourself when you're going into the pitch. Because of the type of person he is, what he had achieved in the game. So Ancelotti is more of a manager, not down to the tactics.
The boss,
The person that does the tactics and all of that is his son. That's Davide. That's always beside him on the bench here. So it's I don't know how good he is as a coach, obviously, right? I mean, we will say that part of it is nepotism. And all of that. That's not anybody's business, man. Me too. If my father was a coach, I would sit down on the bench. But I feel like with the type of quality that Madrid have, they have to. I mean, I'm not saying fire Ancelotti. I mean, it will happen eventually. You have to leave. Madrid have very thin patience with all those type of things. So I feel like when they're getting their next manager, the most important thing is somebody that can bring out the best in all of these guys, not necessarily, not necessarily to manage their egos. We can see big names like Bellingham, Mbappe, Vinicius, even someone like Rudiger, or the people, look, Courtois. Do you understand? You, in as much as you need to get the best out of them, you also need to manage their egos and all of that. But I feel like they've gotten to the phase where just managing the egos and leaving them to play anyhow is no longer sustainable. You have to make the football is the most important thing. So maybe Perez will come and be the manager and manage their egos, but you need someone to actually do
Tactics,
the whole. I mean, I think across all 4 games we've seen that coaching is actually very important, very very important. Your quality on the pitch is good. I don't think anybody put up a bad side in the 4 games, but you could see in moments the difference in planning, the difference in tactics. In fact, the difference in being proactive, right? Going for it. Even the guys that were behind with big margins, you could see clear plans, clear structures, and all of that. So I feel like Ancelotti, yes, great man, great career. But man,
It's time.
Looks bad on it.
Well, big congrats to Arsenal fans. They can rise. I know the more the black, because I'm sure anytime they can rise, plays well and scores. There's always
money.
There's always reference to his beautiful song then. But Timmy, it's been a while. We go into a semi-final and you look everywhere and there's no weak spot or a clear team. Or do you think it's a clear team? Do you think Barcelona is the best out of all this?
What?
Really?
What's Inter, bro? You can't just put it past
El Toro.
Yeah, El Toro. I love that guy so much. He understands the assignment. When he scores, he knows how to fuel with the passion. But I don't think there's a clear favorite for this. Even Arsenal, PSG. I think PSG have a very, very complete squad, a very, very complete team. Do you understand? So, and everyone is very, very balanced. I promise you, there's no weak spots. If anything, maybe even Arsenal. I'm joking. but there's no. I mean, and that's the fun of it. That's what makes it better, man. I can't wait for that semi-final, bro.
Yeah, we have three different teams vying for a treble this season. That just puts you in on the quality that we're going to see in the semi-final. I'm honestly anticipating, actually. Is there any fixture that I think Inter Barca stands out because it's about the team with the most goals versus the team with the best clean sheet or the best defense generally? Is there anyone that stands out for you?
Interestingly, I'm going to pay a lot more attention to Arsenal PSG. I know that Barcelona, the games are on different days, but I know that it's going to be, especially at Barcelona Inter, it's going to be tight midfield against tight midfield. You're going to have probably Lewandowski in. I think the person that's going to be Barcelona's game changer over 2 legs is the availability of Dani Olmo. Why? That guy was built to destroy low blocks. So, you know, all those players that there's a right winger, there's a left winger, there's a striker, and it just fits in to create overloads in each of those areas. That's what Dani Olmo is. And because Inter structure is so tight-knit, Bastoni, Pavard, whosoever it is, I mean, yes, it hurts that they don't have Dumfries that's flying on the right. I think it might be back for one. Yeah, so they've had... No, it's not the same. Their system is very good. They can accommodate missing anybody in their system. Anybody at all. Do you understand? So... I feel like that game is going to be very, very good. But the reason why I started paying more attention to Arsenal PSG is because I've personally seen the flow in PSG side, and I want to see if it was a fluke or not. You know, when we're speaking about the draws, I said something about their seriousness matching against Villa. That if they were serious, the professional job 1-0, 1-0. They consider first in the first leg. Obviously, you sit up, you win 3-1. They score 2 in the second leg again, dump down their tools. Villa came back again. Okay. What I want to say against Arsenal is that PSG team has 0 box presence going forward. all of their forwards want to play outside the
wing,
box, and all of
yeah.
them are better in transition. I've seen it. I'm 100% sure Arteta has seen it.
Mhm.
I want to know how he's going to plan for that to make sure that you're not susceptible in transition. Because, if you even sit in the block, if they start crossing, it's Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, Bakola, Doué. It's not really threatening. If they even decide to push bodies from midfield, you have Ruiz, Vitinha, Neves. You're not really bothered about that. So PSG have to create all of their magic from outside the box, and which they can do, by the way. Do you understand? So I want to see how Arsenal is going to be able to prepare for that, how they're going to tussle with control, because the best, in my opinion, the biggest strength in PSG is their control in midfield. I want to see how Arsenal is going to be able to cope with that. I think on the break, Arsenal versus PSG on the break, I give everything to Arsenal in terms of Saka, Martinelli, and even Merino. I feel like there are mistakes in that PSG. I mean, we said it before the quarterfinal that they will give away goals to Villa. It depends on how much. So I think that's the match for me. I just have plenty matchups in that Arsenal PSG. Again, Enrique, Arteta, all those things will play out. But one thing is for sure, in both legs, we're going to have semifinals to remember. No doubt about that.
Thanks so much for that, Fedo. How much of an advantage does PSG have, considering they've wrapped up the league title? And I think for some games, or before this last game, Lyon actually gave them a game off. I'm wondering, why are other leagues not looking at it as, okay, why can't we give Arsenal a game off? Or this is a game off to prepare for this? Do you think that gives an added advantage for PSG?
I mean, it's the breathing room. It helps, right? Because now they can prepare and everything, and they don't have to field so many. I mean, solid guys anymore or anything. But it's not much of an advantage. I promise you. I don't think it's an advantage because I could see. If they perform is because they are hungry. I could see Dembele's face after that Aston Villa defeat. Do you understand? Enrique knows what he wants to achieve. I'm not sure he really cares about if they were still competing in Ligue 1 or anything. I think the energy will still be the same. Not energy on the pitch, but I think like mentality and everything. I don't think is much of an advantage because now if they win, people will be saying it's because they are not playing in Ligue 1. Right? No. It's fire for fire. They are. I mean, if it's a case where the league is wrapped up or anything, that's probably a different case entirely. But now I don't see it as an advantage. There is, in fact, if not anything, it might just make them maybe less I don't know the word, less focused or serious. I don't know. Yeah,
It's
because there's no the momentum.
It's
Thank
momentum,
you.
yeah.
You know, because you need something to keep you going. You get, and if you are just preparing these guys or just massaging them, just getting them ready, you can lose that focus, right? So yeah, that's also
Fair enough. One final thing because I have a question to ask both of you. Lautaro Martinez, I know you're a very big fan. What has he got to do? Because I'm a victim of this too. Not victim, or let me say I'm a perpetrator. Because despite how many goals he scores, he just doesn't seem to. When you're calling strikers in the world, he usually seems to get misplaced in that conversation. Why is that?
so. People have that mentality that is also not like an out like a 9-9 because maybe sometimes they always interplay with like sometimes two strikers. I mean, in the past and everything, it's always like the supporting guy and everything. But we thought I've seen over like this past 2-3 years, the guy is if you put him, some people think he won't perform in Premier League or this. If you put him in a proper working system, he's the guy that will deliver goals for you. I promise you. Is because I watched him in Argentina too. Do you understand? Last season I think Ballon d'Or was like 5th or 6th or something like that. He's I mean he has earned it. He's a proper striker. I don't know why people still. I'm not.
This is the Sports Lounge. Welcome to the home of the Sports Lounge.
Welcome to our YouTube channel.
Welcome to our YouTube channel.
Don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. So click on the subscribe button.
And let's stay updated with all the happenings, all the interesting conversations in the world of sports.
Among the strikers
top
now,
strikers
I think it's top 5.
So what I mean, top 5.
Yeah.
Despite how well. Where would you rank him?
Yeah, probably in the same brackets. I'm trying to look at all the strikers on board.
No, you don't need to call them. Don't worry.
No, I'm just trying to look at people that I think might be in the same bracket with him or above him. So I can't come up with many names.
Isak or Lautaro?
Because of resourcefulness, I'll go with Isak, right? Because I can utilize him in different ways. Taro, not really.
Have you looked at Lautaro's numbers in the last 5 years? There's
The
nobody that
numbers
has
are
that.
correct.
If
This
it's
is one
numbers
of
that.
Martinez's biggest
Yeah,
fan.
if you look at the
This
numbers
is
last
my
5
point.
years, it's difficult to argue against that. I just feel that, like I always say, with respect to Ballon d'Or rankings and all those things, it's voter bias.
Yeah.
The idea about around Lautaro is that it's been conceived in the past and it's going to take a lot to change it. People just assume he misses too many chances. I don't know why. I don't know how. All the people
I've not seen that.
all the people that score a lot of goals miss a lot
Miss
of
a lot of
chances.
chances.
Alan, Osimhen, Issa, whosoever you want to call, Lewandowski, they miss a
Salah.
lot of. Whosoever you want to call, anybody that's scoring a lot of goals miss a lot of chances. It's pure science. Do you understand? But I just feel like at the end of the day, man, the only way to get like a Ballon d'Or winner that everybody will be happy with, maybe controversial anyway, is the way when you want to do your voting, you probably do like a preliminary stage, then you come up with a top 5. Then everybody that is voting on the last day votes for one of the top 5. That's the best way to get. Because at the end of the day, you see somebody that media in Argentina will probably still vote for Messi instead of Lautaro. Do you understand? The guys in Nigeria will vote for Osimhen, who cannot win the war for. Do you understand? So if you have maybe 5 realistic winners and
Those are the
everybody
ones
has to
people should vote
pick
for.
for the
Yeah.
5, we'll probably get somebody that
Like
is
give us 30 or
general
50 or something
consensus.
to be
Yeah,
voting
I
for
was looking
everybody.
at rankings for people voted for Valverde, people voted for Xhaka, people voted for Rudiger last
Come
year.
on.
So and maximum votes, by the way. So I just feel like it's mostly voter bias. It has a very good body of work. It's top scorer at the Copa last year. I don't think it can catch Retegui this year in Syria, but it's also done madness in the Champions League this year. I think he has maybe 6 or 7 man of the match awards. It's not far behind in terms of goals as well. I think he has maybe 7 or 8.
Even in Syria, his goals are not.
No, they're not as many as Retegui.
Yeah,
I know Retegui is ahead of him.
yeah.
And I think Thuram even has more goals in the
And
league.
I think he has just maybe like.
It didn't
10
start
or
well.
something,
No, and
exactly.
it didn't start well. It didn't start well this
Yeah.
season. So I feel like that's just what it is. If at the end of the season, and again, trophies will always matter at the end of the season in terms of Ballon d'Or ranking. Inter can still win the Champions League, obviously. They can still win
Treble.
They can still win a treble. If he wins a treble, it gives a lot more credence to his case. If someone like maybe he wins his league, maybe Arsenal win Champions League, Barcelona win their league. When the trophies are
It's
scattered up
broken,
and down,
yeah.
then again, popularity contest is not so popular. There are a lot of names that will come up before him. But when it's September, August, beginning of this season, we'll have clearer picture of all these things.
Well said. Very well said. Congrats to all the 4 semi-finalists in the UCL. We'll just quickly go to the Europa before we go on a short break. And there was a miracle in Old Trafford where there was a remontada in a remontada. like Real Madrid was talking about remontada all through, but we saw the remontada in the Europa League.
Without closed roof.
How has Man United done this? How can a team that's struggling for goals be able to score 3 in like 7 minutes?
And this is very unfair on Lyon, but I feel like they switched off. The coach has even come out to say after Lacazette's penalty that they were celebrating and all of that. I just think that's what it was. It's more of nothing can happen again, right? Immediately, the referee gave the penalty for Bruno. So I watched the game sitting on the floor with my back against the chair. That's how I watched the game. From beginning to end, I didn't move from beginning to end of the game. 2-0. Okay, because we know that if there's a team in Europe that can throw away a 2-goal lead, it's Manchester United now.
I can't trust a Man U win until it's 3-0 in 85th minute.
Do you understand?
So
I
we have
kept on
made
watching
2
and-
subs to bring in defenders to come and defend the win.
So funny
That's the
enough,
only time I
right,
can be sure of
in fact,
United win.
with respect to the second leg, my area of concern was more about upstairs, right? First leg, United didn't play so well. They went 2-1 ahead and mistake in last minute, 2-2. Do you understand? Onana was in goal at the weekend, considered 4 again. So you can't say it was like a goalkeeper thing. It was more of the team has a problem with regards to that. So 2-0, you're like, okay, just budget your 2 goals that you concede down. So it's 2-2, right? So I kept on watching the game and Lyon looked absolutely toothless. In fact, the same Onana in question made a couple of good saves at 2-0. Then 2-1 out of nothing, 2-2. I'm still the same position. Then they score 3-2. Then they score 4-2. And at 4-2, I'm like, well, I cannot say I'm surprised. Then the referee gives a penalty at 3-2. At 4-3, right? At 4-2, so it's 4-3. And I go, 7 minutes, 1 goal. And Lyon kick off and throw the ball straight back to United. And I'm like, these people are not serious. And United keep on going. Bruno flashes worldwide and everything. Immediately minus scored 4-4. I stood up and I'm like, 5 minutes at the time, there's still one more goal in this game. It's not getting to penalties. I was still even, because I was watching with someone, and I've never gotten anything. Maguire scored. And Maguire scores, everybody celebrates wild. And I'm like, this team can still concede. so we really had a good laugh in the house. I think that's one of the reasons why I watch football. It's moments like this. The game was complete. You had goals, you had controversy, you had quality, you had referee decision. You had plenty of things that you could talk about. I mean, if it's not talking about that game, we'll do one complete show and all that. But I just feel like certain things are clearer with the team. I think, and that's what time does to football teams. You see the people that you can do without. You see the people you cannot do without. You see the people that they're not really contributing much, but if you use them properly, something can come out of it. I don't know if you saw Casemiro after Maguire's goal, when everybody was running towards the big bros, he just fell down on the floor. Like, God, 120 minutes at my age. So they found a way to profile him properly. Even someone like Djurgården, it looks a lot better on right wing back than when he was playing left wing back, and that's because of Dogu. That Dogu has had some days, I don't know. Is this guy good or is he not good? And it's mostly because of decision making. So I feel like the number one thing he has brought to United is athleticism, right? You know, we used to talk about players that can go up and down the wing at wing back. Before then, when Mascherano is playing right wing back, it looks a bit lethargic going up and down, but this one can go up and down. Now it's what he does up and down that's not making people ask questions. And that's the thing with profiling. Now you've seen that, okay, this is a good profile. Mm-hmm. Is the person himself a good fit? That's where the questions are coming from. But I feel like, again, time will tell. Garnacho on the right, better than Garnacho on the left. You see, time tells all these things. But I like most of the interviews I've seen after the game. Nobody's getting carried away. Everybody understands that, okay, yes, we got a good one, we got a miracle, but there's still a whole lot of work to be done in that team. So me, celebrated that night, did a couple of shots, slept. I mean, next day was holiday now, so yeah, good watch for United fans.
Great one for United fans. It was a reminiscence of what it used to be. We'll be right back. There's still a lot to go. Like I said, the person that resurrected with Jesus will be joining us in the second part of the show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Praise ye, Christ is risen. But not only Christ rose. We have Tomiwa, who has resurrected to the TSL show after 1 full year. You're welcome back.
You're not up to 1 year. Please don't mind Bamka. I beg. But I'm back. Bema, you've been talking shit. I see you. Don't worry, now Bema resurrects me.
Man, welcome back, man. How have you been?
Oh man, I can't complain, man. And honestly, I've missed the show so bad. Like, my Saturdays have been very different. You know that thing now, adulting, responsibilities. You tend to find out that you don't have time for the things that you're supposed to have time for. But being back here is nostalgic. The lights, the air in the studio, Timmy. The only thing that's shocking is that Timmy is here. Timmy is meant to be in like UK or Uruguay or Turkey by now. But don't worry, it's still nostalgic.
It's really great to have you back. Last we saw you at the most beautiful man in Nigeria contest.
Yeah, actually.
Coming second. Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. The only thing I had an issue was the amount of oil they rubbed on my body. That was just, but aside from that, it was, I mean, we have to do things, like Timmy said, we have to hustle to make sure that the show keeps going.
The show has to keep going.
All right, when we left the show, we were talking about United in the Europa League. And, I mean, they were laughing at us in the group chat that United fans don't get peace of mind. Boye and Vema, I see.
Bro, they say
but
it's get peace of mind, but
they said to join court to get peace of mind. Maybe my supporter. But Timmy, let me come to you here as a non-United. You've been very happy with how United are playing this season, I'm very sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's been one of my best seasons. Even with the way my own team is playing, I don't even care. But seeing you crumble, seeing you cry, seeing you rant every day, just gladdens my heart.
So let me ask you here. What brings about United's Europa League form if we're that bad and you're that happy to see us?
You see, so the thing now is, in Europe, right, it's usually just vibes and chaos. And sometimes in those kind of European tournaments, those things are enough to just win. You just need moments, like Fedorton said before. And seeing how you guys played against Lyon, I think it will also help with the momentum, right? And um, going forward, I just hope I hope the vibes. I hope it runs dry. I hope everything ends
Yeah, this is bad
because
belly.
I like Amorim, right? So I'm a big fan, but this is not the time I want him to start winning. Do you get? I think it needs time, and
Why do you like him? Even though there are a lot of people, I'm going to be neutral here because I have my own thoughts. But why do you like him? The people that believe that, why are you still doing the same thing? Even though like it's like you're beating a dead horse. These guys cannot play this formation or this, but you're still using the same.
yeah, I mean, I think it's discipline, right? He knows what works for him, and he knows how we can get that, regardless of any team he's coaching or whatever. He knows that this is something that is very flexible that anybody can play with, and he knows that with time, like he said, he needs to strengthen every position on the pitch, literally, not just the Onana or this and that. And when he's strengthening, I know he's going to bring people that can play that particular system that he wants to play, and with time, everything will plumb.
Thank you, Thomas. Thomas, would you, if you are more, would you change your system?
No, actually.
You-
So I would not. So to be honest, this has been a disappointing season. This is probably one of our worst finishes in a very long time. But still, you have to see the progress, even though you have to like bury deep inside the hay to look for it. But there's the progress. Now, the biggest issue Man U has had since post Ferguson is there's been a lack of system. There's been all chaos. You have a bunch of gifted players, put them on the field, let them play, like Dotson said. But now, a modern day footballer, you need a system, you need a style. This is if you look at the likes of Pep Guardiola, there's a system. Pep can replace everybody in his team, and they will still play. Master will still play football the way he wants it to, and that's something that I see in terms of Amorim style. I feel like it's just a matter of patience. He said it himself that what he's planning to do is going to take time. So it's a rebuilding phase. Now, another point that you have to look into is one of the biggest issues that has been with Manchester United now, as aside from the poor footballing quality, has been the poor mindsets. Amorim, I'm not giving him the entire credit to it, but I think there's a subtle reminder to the players the kind of team that they are playing for, letting them know that they are playing for one of the biggest clubs in Europe and in the world, and they have fans and everything, and there's so much that's expected of them. So bringing that never die spirit back, especially the one that we saw in Lyon, even though to be honest, we're winning Europa, that never die spirit came from the fact that we know that to salvage this season, we need a trophy, and we will take the Europa League. Do you get what I'm saying? So that is what those are the 2 points that I know. Okay, look, I've seen something different as opposed David Moyes, Ten Hag, Mourinho, Solskjaer, Van Gaal. Like the difference that I've seen is this is a system that makes sense. Now it's just to get the players in on it, and if they're not in on it, you buy players that can fit into it. So I admire that.
Well, very well said. Looking at the Europa League semi-final, it's either they need to. They basically need to. This will probably be like the toughest fixture that United would have traded, or is Bilbao a team that's going to be playing to play in their home for the final? Featherton, do you think this will continue for United, or this is where the dream stops?
So, in all honesty, this goes to be United's toughest match this season in all competitions. There are all competitions because this is season on the line. I think Bilbao is a very good team, and if anybody has watched Bilbao contest this season, you know that they're going to cause United a lot of troubles. Now, it's not just coincidence that their strengths play right into United's weaknesses. So, it'll be a very interesting one. But Timmy said something that echoed what Amorim said post-match. United kind of look better in Europe because of there's a difference in physical levels. Remember when he was talking about Anthony saying Anthony looks better in Spain because of the reduced physical levels in Spain. So he says what happened tonight, that's against Lyon, that was against the Premier League team, it most likely will not happen because those guys, the Premier League team will not like lie flat at 110 minutes. They probably still have energy and all of that. So United they have to play smart. They have to be dirty. those Bilbao boys, I cannot lie for you. Those boys can play very good football. So they have the Williams brothers wide. They have a center forward. His name skips my mind now. This big black. The guy, what he does is he rolls off players. United defenders, they are all susceptible to that. Mazraoui, Maguire, the elite. That's like penalties waiting to happen. And you have sharp players in half spaces, Sanchez most especially, Berenguer as well. So I feel like they'll cause United a lot of problems, but then again, we'll have to see. I mean, it will even be the most United thing to get past Bilbao and lose to maybe Spurs in the final.
But that would be perfect because United have lost to Spurs 3 times already this season.
Yeah, so I'm actually looking forward to that because knockout football is, to me, that's the pinnacle of football in whatever competition you want to call it, Champions League, World Cup, Euros, all those things, because this is it in front of you. You win next stage, you lose, you go home. So you have to go back to the drawing board. You plan properly for every possible outcome and see who takes it home from there. But there's plenty. I mean, there are plenty positive from last round. If before the draws, if you want to be the best, you have to be the best. You cannot say you want to win the Europa League and you're hoping for Ipswich at this stage. No, you get somebody that also wants to win it as well. So the extra motivation for United amongst the extra motivation for all the semi-finalists minus Bilbao is the fact that this is their way into the Champions League next season. Bilbao will probably make the Champions League without the Europa League, but then again, they now have the motivation of playing at home in the final. So we'll just have to see. But I know for a fact it is never going to be straightforward.
No, big congratulations to Bodo Glimt, first team from Norway to make the semi-final of a European competition. 3 teams from England in both sorry, we forgot about the Conference League. We apologize. Sorry about that.
Thanks for
You'll
being
be
thoughtful.
playing in the garden. In the
Sorry,
semi-final.
but I have a question. If you win Conference League, do you get like Champions League
No,
qualification?
Europa League. Let's talk Chelsea, and I mean,
Man,
the weather has been hot. The weather has been hot. What's happening? Nothing is making Cole Palmer, cold anymore. What's happening?
You see, my manager is killing my love for the game, right? I've not been as happy as I used to. You can testify.
When last were you happy?
I mean, under Tuchel, I was enjoying myself. Even under Pochettino, Palmer was having a crazy season. That was probably the best season we ever have in his life. Do you understand? But we're not just consistent, right? The games we're supposed to be winning are the ones where we are dropping points when we are not supposed to. At some point this season we're third, but now everyone is seeing Newcastle. They are not even allowing anybody to do anything. Do you understand? And we were still drawing with Ipswich. Drawing with Ipswich, losing games we're not supposed to be losing. And even this is our second leg, even not because we already won the. Do you understand? These are not the games we should be losing. We are too big for it. You know that meme of Sam Larry in a class with we are too big for these things that we are doing. It's very unnecessary. But I mean, there's light at the end of the tunnel. At least if we can win something, we can win this Conference League.
Can you win it? We'll beat your man and say you can beat. There's Real Betis and Fiorentina on the other side.
I will beat nonsense in their body. I'll beat all of them. We'll win it, and I think that should probably give Maresca more ginger if he's still in the job next season too. I mean, we'll do better.
What's your fate with? So, because I mean, now it's not looking like a manager thing anymore. You guys have spent a lot of money, and it still seems like you still need to spend a lot of money because you guys love him or hate him. Because Jackson is still your best striker. We saw
I love him,
and you love Jackson.
I love Jackson.
So you don't want him replaced?
Yeah, I don't want him replaced because I don't see. I don't know how to put
So
it.
right now, if you guys have the option,
Jackson is a striker that can fire.
If you have the option of Victor Osimhen and
What's the
Jackson,
proof of
Let me-
fire?
wait, let me
Is there
have
any
it to
proof
me.
of can fire?
Last season, it's called.
It's got the number of goals. So
without
Babiji, hold on. So let me tell you what someone said
Without
about
penalty.
Chelsea and Jackson. So Chelsea fans say Jackson misses a lot of chances. Jackson was injured for a month or 2 months. Chelsea didn't have any chance. Why? What happened? He's the one creating the chances with his movements and his whatever himself. Now, obviously, you can upgrade on that position. Don't worry. I know that's what you want to say.
my question-
It's very, very underrated. Very underrated.
my question to you now, Bamji asked you his question. He said you don't want to replace.
I don't want him.
For
very
people
underrated.
that do not know this, me, I have a Nicolas Jackson agenda.
Same here.
Very poor man striker.
Same here.
very poor fraud. No, he's good enough. Look, maybe this might sound a bit harsh, but I think where Jackson would excel is probably in like Liga Portugal or something.
But you have Oiland
Yeah.
in your team.
No, I want to replace Oiland. I'm being
That's
honest
the
with
difference.
myself.
That's the difference.
So now I'm telling you now that if you had the chance to sign Victor Osimhen, you wouldn't take it.
No, obviously.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean
you've answered.
I don't want Jackson replaced.
You've answered my
I
question.
don't want him replaced.
But if you
have
get
the
Victor
chance-
Osimhen, he will be replaced.
Okay, so Jackson will bench
Oh, we Jackson
Osimhen.
bench Victor.
he won't bench him. But I don't want them to replace him. I really like the guy. I like how he plays. I enjoy his style of ball. Okay, he misses chances and things like that. But
Every
when
striker
he's in
misses
the team, the team
chances.
is kicking. I promise you.
Okay, so final
Because
question.
the
So
team
that
is
it's not
poor.
like we're barraging you.
You people are killing me.
You can only keep 3 players in this your Chelsea side with a clean slate next season. You must keep Sancho too, because you guys will credit our OP by fire by force. Whether you like it or not. So what do you think? 3 players you can only keep, including Sancho.
Are you really killing Sancho?
I'm kidding.
Obviously, I'll keep Palmer, right?
Despite how hot things are.
No,
going.
definitely.
But what's going on? Is it a Maresca thing or is it Palmer?
It's even part of the whole Jackson thing that I was not playing.
Bro, it's
I
global
promise you.
warming.
It's
Global
part of-
warming.
It's part of what Ifeanyi was saying. It's part of the Jackson thing. If Jackson is not there, it's almost like he can't even function. I promise you. Then obviously I'll keep Caicedo.
Palmer,
Right.
Caicedo,
Yeah.
and
This is probably biased, but I'll keep Cucurella.
wait. So keep the Jackson after all the sweet mouth.
Meanwhile, I know say team they cap.
Well, Chelsea will be playing in the Garden in the Conference League semi-finals. While Real Betis faces Fiorentina. That's a very good one. And I mean, like you said, we hoping Chelsea eventually make it. But yeah, let's quickly go round Europe, because I mean things are going to an end. We've seen Bayern Munich just have a couple of games to go, and we're all waiting. We're all
Finally.
anticipating.
Could this be
If you guys
this?
remember, this man,
I
he said, "Will Harry Kane? Will Harry Kane's village people
See,
allow him?"
We've been following this thing. We've been following this
people
thing.
finally,
See, let me just tell you now. If Bayern doesn't win this thing and Harry Kane does not win the title, Omo, he should go and wash his head inside a
It's too
river
late.
I'll
with
retire.
iron sponge.
I'll
I would
retire.
call what? Even that
I'll
Champions
retire
League,
if I
even
win.
that game. I'll be honest with you.
Because it means there's nothing.
I feel like
I'll
Bayern
retire.
were unlucky to face Inter in that Champions League quarterfinals because Harry Kane bored his life that game. Like you can tell that this guy wants something, and for a player, I think there are maybe about 3 or 4 players in his category that have played this amount of good quality football that do not have any silverware to show for it. So it's really an injustice to football, but unfortunately that's how the game is. It can be unfair sometimes.
I'm not a
Fair
part of
enough.
the discussion.
Why?
I always say it all the time. Kane's
Whether
best,
he wins anything or not.
Kane's best is long gone. He'll win something and then all of a sudden he's a good footballer. I beg. Someone has been a good
Let him
footballer
shall win
for like the
something.
last 10 years.
Let him shall
I
win
told you,
something.
Let's be
you're not a
serious,
winner
I
until
beg.
you win one.
I beg. So imagine if he was injured all season. That comes back April to May.
I'll
Play
win,
10 games.
I'll
Now
win.
you say now he has arrived. I beg.
But you're-
Let's be serious, please.
Well, let's quickly, because of our time, let's quickly go to why we brought why Jesus resurrected. And Tomoa, I mean, so for those of us that are about to cook some odds for today's games, let's just give us what you think is going to happen in the Aston Villa and Newcastle game. That's going to be a very big game in terms of determining who's going to finish in the UCL spot. These are 2 teams actually the past 2 years that I've actually said they've looked at the big four and said we're going to come for 2 of your spots, and I think they've done well in the past 2 years to do that. So in this game, what's going to happen?
All right, so it depends on how risky a gambler you are.
Mm.
So if you want to play it safe, the safest option would be Newcastle handicap 1, Asian handicap. That would just ensure that even if they lose by 1 goal to Aston Villa, your bet is still refunded and you don't lose any money. Now, if you're like me, that you're a thief and you like to make some money, these are the options for you. Home team of an over 2.5. That's Newcastle to win an over 2.5. Go. Now, if you want to be extra greedy, you can do go +2.
Don't mind me.
That will-
I did write them down.
No, I did for that. Boys must make money. So that will ensure we go +2. That means you're saying that both teams will score 2 goals against each other. But that's a very risky arm robber bet. But I know for a fact that 3 things will happen in this game. Newcastle is going to win this game. There will be both teams to score. Match will end over 2.5.
Interesting. Let's take it to Spain now.
Did you study this thing?
Bro. Guy, the amount, do you know like 2 a.m. guys call me?
You don't talk about any other thing with this much purpose. Nothing.
Let's see how he does in Spain. Madrid, Athletic Bilbao.
Madrid Athletic Bilbao 1.5. Very obvious.
It's for the safe people, I mean.
Yeah, for the safe people.
Yeah,
Okay,
what
so
of
if
your-
we're
what of
a
people
thief-
like
if
you?
If you're a thief, okay. Now this is where the game is going to get tricky. If I don't say something about Athletic Bilbao, and I agree to a large extent, but if you look at their recent performance in games, Bilbao, their energy has dropped. They are not used to playing this high intensity football for this long period of time. There was a period where the surest bet you can play on any betting app was Bilbao to score. Now you have games where they struggle or there's
I think when Sunset got injured for a bit, it actually affected
yeah, it
them.
really affected them. So for that game, Atletico Madrid straight win.
Athletic Bilbao, rather.
No,
Madrid-
Madrid
Real
versus
Madrid,
Bilbao.
Bilbao.
Yeah, so Madrid. Sorry,
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid. My apologies. No Athletic. I feel like Madrid is still going to be very salty after that game. So I feel like Madrid is going to either win or draw that game. And I know for a fact, like I said, the surest bet is Atletico Bilbao to score.
Thank you very much for that, Omar. We've given you 2 games we can give you. So one, before we wrap up the show, because it's been an amazing show. Great seeing our guys back. The guys on, you guys know you're on the poster, right? You're on the poster of the sports long.
Okay, I'll be back. I'm
Okay.
here.
All right.
I'm here.
All right. No,
Let's
no,
stop.
no-
See,
no
let's stop.
problem.
Let's stop bringing up the past.
no problem. No problem. To wrap up today's show, we're going to be playing one of our very favorite games, and is what is his most memorable goal? And you know the drill. I'll call the name of the legend. Then would all at the count of 3 say the club that he scored against that comes to your head first. Do you get? For example, I'll say if the player's name is A, I'll say A. Then I'll count 3. Then just let's chorus the first club that you think, the first goal that comes to your head, the club is scored against. Are you ready?
Okay.
The legend's name is in tribute to my returning man from Zimbabwe, actually. The legend's name is Didier Drogba. 1, 2, 3, Liverpool.
Bayern.
Barcelona.
Wow, 4 different. This is so we're all going to describe the goals. Start. Why did you pick?
Obviously, Bayern, our Champions League, the header it was magical night for me. So that's the most
Straight up.
memorable, 100%.
Did you say Bayern too?
I said Everton.
Okay.
Check long ball.
It was when white, no?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Actually, same because Liverpool.
You like that Liverpool?
It's
Even the
different
weak
goals.
foot, that weak foot.
No,
I know
they're
that
different
goal.
goals. They're different goals.
I know,
Yeah,
they're
the
different. I think they're
chest
similar.
is similar.
It wasn't.
That's
No,
similar.
somebody won the ball for Drogba.
Then
The
he
one against
chested-
Everton, not the Liverpool one.
Okay.
The Liverpool one was a cross line, so he chested it away from.
Yeah.
I think it was Carragher's back and used his left leg. I know that one you're talking about. So this one was long ball. I think it was Shevchenko and someone that went up for the ball, so he dropped to him. So he chested it.
From the
and-
middle,
Yeah, straight up.
Header.
Which one?
Against Barcelona. The game. Do you remember the game that? Do you remember there was one particular game? What I remember it from was that controversy that Drogba had, where was
Oh,
was
okay.
the intention? What was saying that?
Was he a header?
No, I don't think it was the header.
It was-
I don't think it was the header.
Which
think it
game?
was a-
Which controversy?
Oh, are you sure it's not the
It was
Bayern game you're
Champions
talking
League.
about?
I think it's Bayern.
It's
It's
probably the
Bayern.
Bayern game
it's
you're talking
Bayern.
about. Well, which goal do you think was more memorable out of all these goals? Is it the one against Bayern, Everton, or the one against Liverpool? Let us know. And we'll be back again next week, to give you the best in sports. Thanks so much for staying with us from start till now. And I hope these guys will not be
Get
far
to
away
see
again.
you soon.
We shall be here.
See
We shall be
you
here.
See you next week. Goodbye.
Nada Bayern one.
I'm trying to remember. It was a header.
That Barca's one. First leg was 0-0. No?
No, it was not.